Hey guys, I just want to do a couple checks today because I am going to, uh, well, if there's official news right now, it is that I'm definitely going to the shareholder meeting in Miami, which is a good thing. So, pretty excited about that. Let me know in the comments if you could actually hear me, because if I do this when I go down there and I do broadcast live during some parts, which I plan on doing, I'm hoping that it doesn't backfire like last time. And I'm using a completely new system that I did last time. So, I'm hoping that it doesn't have 1,000 me's like it did before. So I am going to just break down a couple Ilus pieces of information just to look back on that I think are really, really important. I'm very excited to be going down. Our Lex and I are going to be hopping on a plane and going down. We're going to be staying down there, so it's going to be nice to travel with somebody who I've never met before. But it's great to have known. I'm just glad to be going down, one, just so I could shake the hands of the people that have been running Ilus and doing a really phenomenal job, and getting a chance to meet the shareholders and, really just meeting people that I've become good friends with virtually over the last 2 years, through not just online chat rooms and talking and just talking on the phone, text messaging, and just sharing the journey. And, for anybody that knows, since I've launched this channel, I really have increased my position more than I ever thought I would. So for me, this is sort of an exciting time. It's an exciting, it's like it's all coming full circle, I guess you could say. So I do plan on, and don't mind the screaming, crying kids in the background. That's the war zone that happens here on a daily basis. So yeah, that's the girl. She's screaming and crying. It's probably his fault. Go figure. So I did want to cover a couple things that I'm just reminding myself. I know that some of us are getting we're getting bogged down, and some of us are getting frustrated with the fact that they said they were going to release news, but they haven't yet. And I think at the end of the day, can they shoot themselves in the foot with a timeline, a self-inflicted timeline? Anybody who saw my short about the Ilus timeline pills know that this is nothing new. It really is nothing new. But, I think that now that they are SEC compliant, something that they said they weren't going to do, and now they got it done. They got their Form 10 done. They're fully audited. They really have proved the haters wrong. And so I haven't been doing a lot of Ilus coverage just because I don't feel the need to pump something that is successful as it is. The share price has been stagnant. I mean, our economy, there's a pullback, there's inflationary periods, and we're not in a bull market, unfortunately. But, I got to say, I think that when we look at what I'm going to show you, it just gave me a chance to sort of reflect and see what they have accomplished. And the proof is in the numbers. So, all right. So I'm going to look at some of the comments right now. You guys can hear me? Okay, good. That is funny. Yeah, they're savage beasts. You know what? And the funny thing is, it could be dead silent in here. And the minute I want to do something, all hell breaks loose. And I'm going to play this video for them and be like, you see what you did? Yeah, I think I'm going to go open a can of whoop ass. No, that's all right. It's been a long day here in the household. So, but yeah, no, no, that's the truth though. And that's one thing, anybody that does the YouTube thing, or it could be dead silent in your house and you're like, all right, I'm just going to put out a clip. I'm just going to put out something nice and easy. Quick 5-minute clip. And just so you guys know, I know, first of all, thank you to everybody that has subbed and been a part of this journey. I got to say though, some of my shortest clips, 5 minutes, 6 minutes, sometimes those end up being the longest just because of distractions, or you get caught up doing work, or your mouse stops working, which has been happening for the last hour on this computer. So let's talk a little bit about I just want to go in and show you guys something. And I think that you can tell me what your thoughts are in the comments section. I am going to just keep reading here. I know we're a little bit on a delay, which is fine, but at least I'm not, you don't have 1,000 voices coming through like last time. And I really do enjoy the OBS system. So let's go. I'm going to just do the screen share here, and I'm going to just get right into what I'm going to talk about here. All right, so let's look at the annual report. And I think that when we talk about, right when we first started investing, me personally, we were thinking NASDAQ. But you know what? There's so much that I've learned. So there's so much of a process that you have to do to become a NASDAQ company. And I think they're really making the right steps. Obviously, we all want it to happen the next day, but it just doesn't happen like that. And I've learned a lot, and I have so much more to learn. So if I'm ever wrong giving information, I'm wrong on something, and you want to call me out and just let me know, hey, this is that, please do so, because I'm learning, So let's just look at this. All right. And this is simple. I just want to do a simple, quick video, and this is what I want to talk about here. Their total income for the year, $11.2 million. This was the first complete year that Nick Link had the company. And there was a little bit of FUD going around about Nick Link, and he's a scam artist, and he's a crook, and this, that, and a lot of bullshit. You just got to ignore that, and you just got to do the digging. The truth is, the company has grown exponentially under his leadership, and they have the vision, and they have a process set. And are they adapting? He just put out a tweet. You know what? They're adapting as they go. That's just what they do. You got to reflect. You're never going to do everything perfect, but you could always adapt. And I think these guys are very versatile. They really are. So let's look at this. You have the total income of $11.2 million. You have the gross profit for the year of $3.7 million. You have the net income, all right, $13.9 million. And they're cash at the end of the period, all right, $176,000. Now, what I want to do is I want to go back. Mobs, yes. Thank you very much for the comment. I will always try my best to keep covering Ilus. Well, it's my favorite stock. I got it covered. So I want to go back and just compare this to just one quarter, their most recent quarter 3. And so if you look at this, and yeah, there's a lot in these reports that we could really comb through. But let's look at this. All right, just July to September, quarter 3, their total income, $20.4 million. All right. The gross profit was $6.8 million. All right. Think about that for a second. The gross profit is double what it was all year in 2021. All right. So when people talk about scam company, they don't know what they're doing. They're going to go bankrupt. They're going to yada, yada, yada. That's when you have to turn off the noise and just open up one of these reports. Anytime I put out a video that pertains this, anytime I have a report out or use a report as an example, I'm going to put it in the link so that way you guys could click on it. And it's all on OTC markets. But for somebody to say that they haven't grown exponentially, they are not reading the files, and they're just creating FUD, and that's it. So if you look at that gross profit for the whole year, $3.7 million, and in quarter 3 alone, $6.8 million. If this isn't indicative of a trend, then I don't know what is, because the truth is, they have increased quarter-on-quarter revs and year-over-year, and we haven't even seen what is going to be on quarter 4 yet. So let's go back and look over. Where was I looking here? and just the cash on hand at the end of the period. This is the other thing I wanted to comment on, is that it is triple what it was for the full year for 2021. So I think that, just looking at these reports and looking at the raw data, the numbers, this company is growing exponentially. And you know what, like I say, in my interview with JP, which I'm telling you, that was one of the highlights of last year. It was absolutely so fun to sit down with him. It was actually quite an awesome thing. I got to talk to him a couple minutes beforehand and after, and I gotta say, he's a class act. He's a sincere person. But like he said, they're working on anywhere between 12 and 15 acquisitions at a time. And so, I mean, you don't marry everybody that you date. Do you know what I mean? Some acquisitions are going to be in line with their vision and process. Others are not. Maybe one has more debt. Maybe one isn't producing as much revenue. Maybe they don't have the networking, and they don't want to spend money on having them develop more networking. There's just so many factors that go into acquisition. So I'm not going to get bummed out when an acquisition doesn't go through, or an acquisition gets restructured. Like, for example, with Vera, Vera put out on a tweet about being a part of the Ilus family and that they had orders in. So there really is no doubt in my mind that they were. I'm sorry. Yeah, the volume. I'm sorry if the volume messed up. It is actually a setting on here. The volume, I bet, is down now, so I apologize about that. I got to fix that setting. I'm learning as I'm going. Where was it going? But like, for example, Vera, there's no doubt that they were acquired, but they are restructuring the deal. And whether or not, and he even said straight up, he's like, whether it's Vera or not, they're going to get the drones that they need. So I think there's a lot that we're going to learn in the next couple of weeks, especially at the shareholders meeting. Do I think the vision is I mean, they're adapting. I think that this is bigger than they ever thought. And as a shareholder, I'm pretty freaking pumped about it. But yeah, you feel like you're just waiting and waiting and waiting for news. And in this period of economic uncertainty, the economic correction, the market correction, inflation, I'm really trying my best, and I know many of you are, to just save money and put money where you think it's going to grow in 2 to 3 years. If you look at everything, and this is the whole thing. Stocks have went up during this period. There have been some runners, as you would say. I'm not looking necessarily for that. I think most of us here that are Ilus fam, I think that we are looking for something that is going to increase substantially and steadily. I think that the first pump to 50 cents, as exciting as it was, it wasn't natural, and it was really off of nothing. I mean, excitement obviously, but so if you look at many stocks, many companies, you could draw a line straight down the exact same path that Ilus had for the last year. I mean, look at Tesla. It's a prime example. A year ago they had a $385 share price. I mean, now it was 116 at one point today, I think. But it's just how it works. And so I think for me, I want to find the companies that are revenue producing, that are growing exponentially during a time like this, and companies that have products, companies that have contracts. And I think it's very, very important. I mean, there's a lot of stocks out there that are completely down. I know for us that are holding cybl, us shareholders, I mean, as convicted I am as in the company and the revenue, I mean, and the contracts and how great that is, when you have a paperwork disaster, it's not going to end well for the shareholders. And really, quite frankly, the OTC doesn't really give a crap whether or not, you're growing your revenue and your profit margin was $3 million, which it was for the third quarter for them. If you're not going to file your paperwork on time, guess what? You're going to get the CE slapped on you. So, and it's not, and I'm not just picking on cybl. I have more than 1 million shares, but I think a lot of the CEOs, a lot of the management teams of OTC companies, they're learning as they're going too. There's always things that are going to pop up that, oh, wait, we never had that before. This is what we need. That's why you hire a great accountant. You develop a good team around you. That's one thing that I think Ilus has done tremendously, is that they have built a substantial team around them. They really have. And they're growing. I mean, their employee base for the new acquisition, I think it was, and somebody could correct me in the comments section, I think it's like 500 employees just from this one acquisition. And that fluctuates, actually. If I'm correct, I think it was 1,500 employees during the height of the I'm trying to think of the word right here, the height of the seasonal, based on the period of the year. I'm sounding like an idiot right now, but it fluctuates basically. So I think it was anywhere between 500 to 1,500 employees, depending on the time of the year, if that makes sense. I don't know. I'm really explaining. I sound like an idiot, but that's okay. I think you guys understand what I'm saying. But I mean, when you look at that, when we finalize that acquisition, it's going to be remarkable, because that alone is, I see as being that $1 billion conglomerate. That's what they've always set out to do. And no, it's never going to, things aren't going to be executed on time all the time. I mean, you're always going to have bumps in the road. I mean, the way they negotiate, I think that JP is a tough negotiator. I wouldn't doubt it. He can't flex his muscle too much. I don't know. You put somebody in a headlock, you're going to take this contract. No, I'm going to challenge you, JP, if you're watching this. I'm going to challenge you to an arm wrestling match at the shareholder meeting. No, I'm just kidding. That is not going to happen. I'd like to keep my arms intact, actually. So I don't know. Guys, these are just my thoughts. I'm just having a little fun. I'm glad that you're able to sort of hear me. I gotta figure out the volume situation. One thing I want to see from my subscribers, guys, is to really leave more comments, and share any information that you have. Especially like if it's a video on a stock I'm covering, or even a bourbon, if I'm doing a bourbon of the week, which is never a bourbon of the week. It's like the bourbon of the month. I need to get my head out of my butt with that one, really, seriously. But I really enjoy covering stocks. And one thing that I'll tell you guys is that I'll always cover stuff that I'm interested in. that I'm either invested in or stuff that's on my watch list. I've covered Ilus substantially because I enjoy the investment. I've enjoyed the ride over the last 2 years, and it is what it is. I like covering cybl. Igpk is a new one that I bought into, and and I'm gonna share the journey along the way with you guys and let you know when I sell, and when I lose, which hopefully isn't too often, but I do plan on flipping some more trades this year. I do plan on doing that a little bit more. I don't want to get too crazy. I'm just a poor teacher. That's the truth. No. So I'm very selective with where we put our money. I mean, we all should be. I mean, your money's hard earned. You should always do your due diligence and do your research to make sure that your money is allocated where you think it's going to be sound. So, I mean, that's really it. So, hey, let's look at this. What do we got? Yeah. I'm just looking at Nathan's comment right here. Yeah. Yeah, Nathan, I agree. I think that, and I think looking back, it's an excitement thing. I think that, when we were shooting at 50 cents, which wasn't running off of revenue, it wasn't running necessarily off of acquisitions. Yeah, I completely Oh, Jord will be there. Yeah, he'll be at the meeting. Jord's definitely going. I just talked to him yesterday, and but yeah, no, Jord will be there. And I gotta say, yeah, the 2 years that was off base. But you know what? I think that they're learning, they're adapting, and I think it's going to be great. And I do think they're going to get to the NASDAQ. The fact that they're getting to the QB, the fact that they're going to, I can't wait to hear about the share buyback. We still know nothing about the share buyback. And I think that they're going to make it very enticing for us. I'm probably going to lock up shares. It depends on what they're going to offer. I don't know what they're going to offer us. We'll find out. We could speculate all day long. It's fun to speculate. If they want to give us a 1-for-1 for ERT, or I'd probably be locking up more than 100,000 shares. But so we'll see how that goes. I'm just looking through the comments real quickly, just because I don't want to ignore anybody. If you guys got anything. Okay, thank you, OGJ. Okay, yes, it was 1,500 seasonally. All right, that is huge. I mean, that's unbelievable. I mean, so listen. I mean, I don't know. Like, it's easy to get bogged down in the negativity of the day to day. It really is. Like, it is stressful when you just see that red go. But you know what? With a play like Ilus, I'm not even gonna call it a play, an investment like Ilus, because I may take profit at some point, maybe when it's a buck or something. But I don't even really. I'm not even thinking about that. Because I'm looking at it way past the dollar. So like I said on Twitter earlier, I look at it in 5 years to be a $7 to $10 stock. And so I don't want to have invested my time and energy into doing the DD, doing the research, investing my hard-earned money to sell short and be like, yeah, whatever, I'm just going to take a little bit of profit. When I see the potential with these guys and what they've just done in 2 years is really remarkable. So to have 1,500 employees seasonally with just one leg of the spider is freaking unbelievable. It's great. Calm before the storm. You know what? This is quite the calm. It's been much more calm than we've wanted, of course. I like to think of the phrase "good things come to those that wait." So I guess that helps out there. And actually, I'm gonna be Thursday night. I'm gonna be having a little get together with Jord. We're gonna be recording a couple segments. I have a couple questions for him. I want to get his insight on some stuff, and he's gonna be meeting up with me. We're gonna do a recording Thursday night, and I've invited Arlex too. Arlex, if you're watching this, if you're listening, Arlex, you should join us. 8 p.m. Eastern time. So I definitely want to get George's perspective. I mean, that cat has a lot of shares, 3+ million shares, and he's gonna be locking up a lot. So I mean, that guy he does get in the terms overjoyed, and he uses that term often, and good for him. He does. He's a positive guy. Jord, shout out to you, man. I mean, like, he's been a strong supporter of this channel since like the first couple weeks, and how exciting is that? So, and like I said, I like everybody that's tuning in now. Yep, it's like the coma before the storm. Wake me up. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's the truth. It is the coma before the storm. Yeah, well, you know what? Yeah, I guess good things come to those who wait. And but yeah, I'm hoping to pick George's brain and sort of just get his perspective on things. And I'm gonna give a shout out to all the mods and stuff in the private Discord. Rickers, I had a chance to talk to him the other night. I've become good friends with him, despite the fact that he's a Dolphins fan. But I actually don't mind that. I don't mind the Dolphins at all. They're not the Patriots, and we're gonna be hosting those guys this Sunday, and it's gonna be freaking wild. It's gonna be a good football game, and I'm excited. But yeah, shout out to all you guys, and I really can't wait to meet you guys in person, and I'm pretty excited about that. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to having Jordan and Arlex. Like I said, you're more than welcome to come on. And I do plan on doing more interviews with CEOs or marketing directors or investment managers, because I'll be honest, it helps me learn. I'm learning a lot through all this, and I'm at about 10%. Actually, that's probably being generous to myself, but I have a long way to go. One thing that I want to do is, and I talked about it, Patriots in the house, Jomar. Oh, boy. Jomar's on. All right, I won't pick on you. No, but it's true. Like, I don't know where I was going. So I got totally sidetracked there. No, but the truth is, I look forward to learning more about the trading world. I'm just a simple dude that likes to trade. I'm loving this YouTube channel. And I like investing, and it's one thing that has become a passion of mine, but I'm only, like I said, at 10%. I don't know where I'm going to end up. I do want to place an options trade this year. I'm going to go on Investopedia's site. I'm actually going to take their options course. Why not? Just one thing I want to learn to do. I'm not, going to be options trading left and right, but that's just something I want to learn to do. Another thing I want to learn to do is do more chart analysis, technical analysis. Why not? Just for the hell of it. There's no shame in educating yourself, and I do believe self-education it's so important. And one person I want to give a shout out to, Nick Coriano. He's been quite a character on Twitter. That guy, man, he is a go-getter. I'm hoping to have him on in the next week and get his thoughts. He is a wealth of knowledge, that guy, and I'm hoping to have him on in the next couple weeks. I am going to be joining his Monday Twitter Spaces next Monday, so that'll be fine. I'm gonna yip yap a little there, and I'm really gonna be a fly on the wall for the most part, just because I want to really retain as much as I can when they talk, because these guys are smart. A lot of these guys, a lot of you that are even watching now, you guys are you're a wealth of knowledge. You've been doing this a long time, and a lot of us just started doing this when we were cooped up in the house. Wait, I'm looking right here. Yep. Yeah, you know what? I think it's going to be a good game. I love a good Bills Dolphins match. It really is. It's awesome. But I gotta say, like seriously, just to learn more, that is important to me. I have kids. One day when they are older, I want to be able to have the knowledge to help them out and guide them in the right direction. Because I didn't have that, growing up. I wasn't necessarily the most responsible kid, especially when it came to money. I was a disaster in my early 20s, and it took me to get married and own a house to realize that you got to really budget for things. That's sort of a thing. It's a thing. You start saving money, you start cutting costs, you start, I want to go on a trip. So it's just one of those things that, that I've enjoyed learning about. So when I have to laugh when people say, "Oh, I'm a paid pumper." It's sort of an honor. What can I say? But no, I'm covering things because I enjoy them. That's what it's all about. And I hope that if there's anything you guys want me to cover as subscribers, throw them in the chat, and I'll look into it. I'm just not going to put out what I consider to be just meaningless to me, because if it doesn't mean something to me, then that's not fair to my viewer. And I want to show you guys the things that I'm convicted in. And so, it's been nice just to do this live feed. I remember I tried doing a live feed, and I think it was Rob actually that I think he said make it stop, because there were literally 1,000 of me coming through, and it was a complete disaster was a beautiful disaster, but what the hell? It was still fun. It was still fun. Um, it was nerve-wracking. I was sitting there like it was an embarrassment, but it was pretty fun. Sometimes you learn from your embarrassments. You do. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to sign off now. Guys, thanks for tuning in. Like I just said, look at that. Just compare the filings. Compare the filings. They're doing in one quarter what they did in the whole year of 2021. So you should be very, very, very excited about what the quarter four reports, what the total annual report's going to be, and I will be breaking that down. I'm going to take we're going to go through 22 right to 21, and we're going to see the growth. And there's so much more that they're going to be sharing with us at the shareholder meeting. And like I said, I'm going completely out of my element. I'm the guy that likes to live in my little buffalo bubble here. I do not like flying. I don't like flying. I told Rich this the other day. I'm not a fan, but I'm actually total nervous excitement. I've never been to Florida before. How about that? Never been to Florida at all. Never been to Florida. So I gotta say, I'm pretty damn excited. I'm really excited about going to Florida. So Miami, here we come. So that's the official announcement. I will definitely be at the Ilus shareholder meeting. I'm excited to shake some of your hands, and I will be putting up live stream when I can. And I hope you guys have a really awesome night. Thanks for tuning in and just letting me do this. I appreciate it. And guys, remember, there's more that binds us than breaks us. You guys have an awesome night, dudes. Pieces.